Hello, welcome to the Art of the Oracle. If you're new to the channel, my name is Virginia. I do a daily card reading Monday through Friday. And this week we're using the Wisdom of the Elders Oracle by Shawn, Leonard. Really, the message I feel like all week long has been somewhat similar. So when I hear things that come out, again and again, and they always say it when they come out in threes, it's something that you really need to pay attention to. And the thing that is really coming out is beginnings. It's like begin again, that there's this transformative process. There is a process of going within and like changing, really a transformational process where we are in stages of development to begin something in a new way, whether it's projects going on in our life or whether it's, things that are going on here in the earth, whether it's the political system or a new job. There is, I think, the awareness among most people that this as above, so below, micro, macro, that what we're seeing on the outside is a reflection of where we are internally, like our belief systems and our desires. Right? And I know that that's hard to believe because sometimes we think, oh my God, there's a lot of really bad stuff going on in the world and that's not what I want. But these chaotic events are reflecting chaotic events, like things that we haven't cleaned up in our own systems, or things that could be fears that are showing themselves. And all of it is just, there's an awareness. So if we can look at something without being completely like sucked into whatever it is, if that's not what you want, then there's a kind of power in that, and being able to just be a silent observer or not so silent observer, if that's what you want. But there is a recognition in that power of, what am I adding to? Am I adding to the thing I want or adding to the thing that I don't want? So during this process this week, it has shown us that there are stages of development to be able to transform into this new beginning. And I think one of those stages is stepping into our power with the bear energy that we saw yesterday, prayer, sacred space, recognizing the sacredness in all of us, and opening ourselves up to the beginning and new possibilities. So with that big intro, let's dive into the cards today and see what we have on this Thursday. We have the Forest 32. I was just talking about this kind of energy. Let me fix my my light a little bit. So I was just talking about this kind of energy to somebody earlier, and what I was saying is that sometimes it's hard to see where you are. It's hard to see the tree for the forest. It's hard to see where you are when you're in the middle of something. And this is saying that no matter where you are, there's always support. So know that so it's showing all the roots here because it wants you to focus on the connections that you have. And I think that was in reading on the first day, was about connectivity. Like, what are we connecting to? Are we aware of where we're putting our roots down, what we're tapping into? And this is another reminder of that. 3 and 2 is 5. So it could be an opportunity for, once you've seen, if you're not happy with where your connectivity is, then it's an opportunity for you to change, or that some of those connectivities or those things that we're connecting to are changing to be more supportive. As you can see here, I love that they've shown all different kinds of trees, and they're showing it because they want you to see the relationship between everything below. Looks the same. It's all about connectivity and where you're putting your heart, what you're putting your heart into. It doesn't matter what you're visually seeing as differences above. At the root of things, we're all the same. So I love that for the first card out. So let's dive in and see if there's any additional messages as we move into this week. I think that's very supportive, right, of this message moving forward today. And let's see what else that we have. I'm so used to getting cards that fly out. When they don't, I keep going until they do. So the interesting thing is during the week and even yesterday, there was a lot of dark cards, and it was showing like one dark and then two dark. And even yesterday, there were a couple of dark cards. And what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling is a lot of air around it. I feel like a lot of movement. And then we have card number 4, which is part of the sacred grandfather's teachings, right? That I had talked about, because I think we had them. This is the 3rd day in a row that we have had the 7 grandfathers teaching one of those teaching. The first one was humility. Then we saw bravery, and we have love today. But I think there was one other one, wasn't there? There was wisdom with beaver. So that's interesting. So we've had 4 out of the 7 teachings show up so far in these readings. And when I see eagle coming out, and we have all this air energy around it, and I think that there's a reason, one, why it's there. It's wanting you to be able to talk, to say, to speak into being the things that you want. When you're can be of support of others, then speak up and say something. When you need some connectivity and support, speak up and say something. And that the eagle brings in this love of life because it sees things from a higher perspective. So eagle always has a very sacred aspect within Indian traditions. And this, I'm just going to go to the guidebook and see. It says, eagle was chosen by the creator to represent this teaching within the 7 sacred grandfathers. And the teaching is it's self-love, that we can fully experience love for others only once we love ourselves. And I love, so we end up with 4 hearts here. So the path here around love is being rooted in that thing that you're connected to. So it's hard when you're not connected to something to really develop that open-hearted love, right? So if you're unaware of your connections, then maybe we're unaware of where our heart energy is. And so it's asking us to really focus on loving ourselves. And I know this from personal experience. I said love a lot, and I thought I understood love, and it took a lot of effort because I didn't grow up in an environment that nurtured love. And so sometimes love is effort, to be able to open your heart up, to be that vulnerable, to give love to yourself or to others because of heartbreak, which is always in there. So it's asking us today that if we drew this card, that it's time for us to go in and really examine that, what love really is to us and how are we treating ourselves. Because sometimes we give more to others than we give to ourselves. And the truth is that when we love ourselves, it's like our heart opens up and can give it all in completely new ways. So it says, remember, only as you deepen your own love of self can you engage in the bounty that life has to offer and fully express loves to others. So so that's part of the message today. Is it could also have something to do around this support, right? It started out with all the differences, right, on the trees, and knowing that we're at the root of things, that we're all the same. And wow. Okay. So this is one of the cards that came out earlier around stability. And so, yeah, I think we're all kind of moving into this stability card. And the first thing that I'm noticing here is 4 to me is stability. That's the number of stability. We have 32 here, which is around change, 3 and 2 is 5, which is around changing. And this is mirroring that. This is 23, which is 32 in reverse. 5, changing, moving into stability, moving into support. And it's all through the ability to love, to first and foremost, to love ourselves. So here, that's one of the things it's asking you, is to focus on where are you emotionally, because stability starts in the heart. The stability is the deep knowing of our own love, our own worth, our own value, these things. And when we have all that within ourselves, then we can see the value and the love in other things as well. So It says, only when we find balance within ourselves can we truly cope with any difficulties that we face on the outside. Wow, I love this reading. I hope you're enjoying the reading as well. I think that's where I'm going to end it today, is that I feel like in the middle of everything that we're going to be facing in all these changes and challenges, these transformatives, these new beginnings, it's all bringing us to a deeper sense of love and commitment to ourself, which then radiates through everything else that we touch and everything else that we experience. Everyone and everything will feel that love, but it starts in the middle with ourselves. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed the reading, give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of some of the readings, and if you're interested in hearing a particular topic, then let me know. I'd love to do a reading around it. Until then, have an amazing day. Bye now.